Fine football elsewhere, which he did at Livingston, Queen's Park Rangers, then Motherwell. This has been a long time in the making, so he is in goal for Rangers. 2 changes from the cup final. Danilo scored that goal later on to take it to extra time, comes in along with Sterling, Balogun and Bayrami. The latter there scored Rangers' opening goal at Hampden, so out of the side. So Kelly in goal, Tavernier, Sterling, Proper, Jefte, Diamonde, Raskin, Cherny, Haji, Igaman and Danilo. 2 changes for the D, Carson and Tiffany in for McCracken and Adewumi. Carson in goal, Ashley Portales, Kumateo, Mulligan, McGee, Silla and Robertson, with Cameron and Tiffany up there with Palmer Holden. Derek Ferguson watching this one with me this afternoon. And as I said there, Derek, a huge afternoon it is for Liam Kelly in goal for Rangers, because I presume he only got the nod sometime in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're a little bit unsure what the injury is. Hopefully it's not too major, you know, but Liam Kelly, experienced boy, he's been here before, knows what it's all about. It'll not faze him. I just think he'll be delighted that he's getting these opportunities. So as a keeper, when you get this opportunity, you've certainly got to take it. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to get tested today, or whether he's going to get tested. But no, big opportunity, and I'm delighted for him.
No, we're just a minute or two after 3 o'clock, so slightly late kick-off for this one. Rangers celebrating 125 years of Ibrox this month. There was a big banner over on the far side to that effect. The actual date is the 30th of this month. This is Rangers' last home game of 2024. We're just about ready to go. A small smattering of Dundee supporters over in the Govan West corner off to our left for this one.
This opportunity, you're sure what the injury is.
Sticks for the home team. Sticks for the home team. It's been a long time coming for him. He of course began as a youngster here, and an opportunity for him to try and lay down a marker himself. How tested he'll be will be up to what Dundee do this afternoon. But given he joined the club as a youngster in 2006, had to leave in 2018 to try and find football elsewhere, which he did at Livingston, Queen's Park Rangers, then Motherwell. This has been a long time in the making, so he is in goal for Rangers. 2 changes from the cup final. Danilo scored that goal later on to take it to extra time, comes in along with Sterling, Balogun and Bayrami. The latter there scored Rangers' opening goal at Hampden, so out of the side. So Kelly in goal, Tavernier, Sterling, Proper, Jefte, Diamonde, Raskin, Cherny, Haji, Igaman and Danilo. 2 changes for the D, Carson and Tiffany in for McCracken and Adewumi. Carson in goal, Ashley Portales, Kumateo, Mulligan, McGee, Silla and Robertson, with Cameron and Tiffany up there with Palmer Holden. Derek Ferguson watching this one with me this afternoon. And as I said there, Derek, a huge afternoon it is for Liam Kelly in goal for Rangers, because I presume he only got the nod sometime in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're a little bit unsure what the injury is. Hopefully it's not too major, you know, but Liam Kelly, experienced boy, he's been here before, knows what it's all about. It'll not faze him. I just think he'll be delighted that he's getting these opportunities. So as a keeper, when you get this opportunity, you've certainly got to take it. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to get tested today, or whether he's going to get tested. But no, big opportunity, and I'm delighted for him.
No, we're just a minute or two after 3 o'clock, so slightly late kick-off for this one. Rangers celebrating 125 years of Ibrox this month. There was a big banner over on the far side to that effect. The actual date is the 30th of this month. This is Rangers' last home game of 2024. Just about ready to go. A small smattering of Dundee supporters over in the Govan West corner off to our left under one of the big monitors on the other side of the stadium. We're in the main stand here, just slightly to the left of the halfway line. Rangers are going to kick off left to right in blustery conditions. Blue shirts, white shorts. Dundee in the change colours. White shirts, navy blue shorts. And Dundee will go right to left towards the Broomloan. Rangers towards Copeland Road. There was a little switch there, I think, after the coin toss. So Rangers attacking the end of the ground they normally do in the second half of the game. And it's Dundee heading clear from a long Rangers ball. But it's picked up by Raskin, who shifts it to Tavernier, back to Sterling, and then to Nicholas Raskin. This Derek Ferguson, the first chance for Rangers to try and blow away the cobwebs of the League Cup final defeat to Celtic 6 days ago. It's in the ideal kind of conditions for blowing away cobwebs, I suppose.
Yeah, well, certainly overhead it isn't ideal, but that surface out there, it's absolutely stunning. Lovely surface to play on. But yeah, they've got to park it. Liam, the manager, pretty vocal this week. You know, had a meeting with the players. So as much as they're disappointed, they've still got a lot to play for this season. So they've got to start this afternoon. You know, because after this, we've got a couple of away games before they meet Celtic here on the 2nd of January. So they'll be looking for a good display here this afternoon against a decent Dundee side as well, because they've been in pretty good form so far recently.
It's not been bad yet. It's just one win on the road in the league this season. It came against Motherwell in October, so they've got plenty to prove today, given they're away from Dens. 17 successive defeats here at Ibrox as well. Ivano Benetti, the last Dundee manager to taste success here, as Raskin accepts a throw-in on that far side from Jefty, who's challenged well, and it's down the line and out of play. And it will be a throw-in off Mulligan over on the far side, midway inside Rangers' own half. And it's rolled back to Liam Kelly. Gets his first touch as a Rangers senior player. He didn't make a single appearance in his first spell at the club when he was a youngster. And here it is, having arrived in the summer, as Raskin picks up and shifts it to Tavernier on this near side. Low ball infield to Czerny, back to Tavernier, flicks it with the outside of the boot, cut out by Silla, breaks to Danilo, out wide right Igaman, level with the 18-yard line, fires it across into the box. Hadji can't control, and then eventually it's booted to safety over on the far side by Ryan Astley. A little bit of help, I think, over on the far side as well by Finn Robertson.
Be interesting, Liam, to see how Dundee set up, because it was pretty strange. The choice of words from the Rangers manager. You know, there might be a little bit of gamesmanship from this Dundee side. I've not noticed it so far myself this season. You know, they look a team that like to get on the ball, play some good football. So I was a little bit surprised by the comments, but so far, you know, they're going to try and frustrate Rangers early on in this game.
Yeah, I think what he was saying was that Dundee would try everything in the book and some things not in the book to try and get a result here. I'm not sure if he overran himself there as Tavernier rolls it behind Diamonde. Carson, who's skippering Dundee this afternoon, thought about coming, but it's swept clear by Portales, and it comes up to halfway where Sterling heads on. Diamonde trying to get into his stride. Silla with a header out on this Rangers right. Tavernier trying to keep it in play. It's eventually settled at Tiffany. Tavernier gets it back, and Raskin moves it in field to Diamonde and back to Sterling and into the centre circle for Robin Proper. Did hear Philippe Clement say that John Souttar is going to be out for weeks. It's a big blow. Balogun on the bench as Hadji fires the ball into the box. Igaman couldn't control on the chest, and it's cleared by McGee. Tavernier picks up midway inside the Dundee half on this near side. Rolls it out to Czerny, who's been one of the stars of the show for Rangers this season. He set one up in the final last week. It wasn't great against Ross County the week before, was Czerny. I think game you were at, Derek, up in Dingwall. He's been a real light in Rangers season, though, hasn't he? Probably he and John Souttar have been standouts.
Yeah, in terms of Souttar, I was hearing it was 6 to 8 weeks, to be honest with you, Liam, which is a real disappointment.
Yeah. Oh, now is that going to be a penalty kick or what? No, the ball was won cleanly, says the referee. Kumetio slid in, and the referees, Matthew McDermott, was happy with the challenge. Obviously the VAR, Nick Walsh, will be having a long lingering look at that.
No need,
seemed to dive into the challenge.
Yeah, but he gets all of the ball. I think it's a wonderful challenge, a wonderful tackle, and it had to be precise. If it wasn't, it was a certain penalty kick. So you can already see the way this game's going to pan out. Dundee sitting in, asking the question, can Rangers go and break them down? And at the moment they nearly did, but that was a wonderful tackle.
Yeah, and it's going to go down in the ledger as a wonderful tackle, Derek, because the check has been cleared by the VAR team. So 0-0, almost 5 minutes in here at Ibrox. 3 Premiership matches this afternoon. Of course, there was one last night, Motherwell drawing with Kilmarnock. We've got another couple to come tomorrow. Dundee United, Celtic, and St Johnstone's visit to Hearts. Goalless in the early exchanges between Ross County and St Mirren, and Aberdeen and Hibernian at Pittodrie. Goalless in the 4 Championship games taking place, goalless in the 5 League One games. Clyde, though, 1-0 up on Forfar, the first goal of the SPFL this afternoon, and it is an Allen goal 3 minutes in. Clyde 1, Forfar 0 in League 2. Rangers dominating the early exchanges here, as you might expect, given they are the home side, and it is Rangers on the ball with Raskin in the centre circle, slipping it to his right for Sterling. He'll then side foot it back to Raskin. I think both he and Diamonde have looked the part for Rangers in recent weeks.
Yeah, I think Raskin has been excellent. He's the one that's going to sit a little bit more, allow Diamande, to go and support up top. But Raskin, his energy, that intensity he plays with, his ball winning, he's been excellent. He's touched on it as well. He's worked on not just the fitness but his diet. That side of it, seems to have his own chef. So not all of us can afford our own chefs, Liam.
No, we can't. But he was Clement. He was talking about that in the media conference after the draw with Spurs here a week past Thursday. So they have been working with him to try and, because he'll know as well, Clement. They're of course from the same country. He'll have known about Nicholas Raskin before he even came to Rangers. It's a player that he'll be very keen to ensure is in the most tip-top of form, as Proper rolls it out to the left-hand side for Hadji's come quite deep onto it, almost 7 in it, 0-0.
You can see that allows Yefty and Tavernier, the fullbacks, they're so high up the park, but looks as if Dundee have parked the bus. They're just going to sit in there. They're going to try and deny Rangers time and space, certainly in that last third, and at the moment they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, but here's Tavernier lashing it into the box from the right hand side. It kind of bobbled between the feet of Czerny, pinballs away, and McGee rolls it out to this near side for Tiffany. He'll get it back from Cameron, back to McGee, kind of running back towards his own byline there. He eventually turns and sweeps it clear out to that far side. Jeff Day with a challenge. Dundee with the throw-in midway inside their own half.
Yeah, I think that's
in front of the Sandy Jardine stand.
I think that's key for Rangers, Liam, when they get into that final third. I think it's got to be 1 and 2 touch. You've got to move that ball so quickly because they're just sitting in, they're settled. So the speed of movement, speed of the ball, and you get that with the 1 and 2 touch. So it was a decent ball with Tavernier getting high up the park and just playing it in first time, not electing to take a touch, just firing it across into the box.
Liam Kelly with the goal kick. Dundee had the ball on the right and they just launched it forward and sailed behind for the goal kick. Sterling lifted high into the air down this near side. It was out of play for a Dundee throw-in. Blue skies above now. It's a bitterly cold day. It is very blustery, but at least the rain has subsided, because it was driving down earlier on and the showers were on. They were heavy.
You don't mind the rain, Liam, but it's the wind, and it's so difficult when it is blustery. It's coming in gusts. So I mean, it's easy for us sitting up here. We can see the whole picture. It looks pretty well. It's certainly calm up here, but you can tell, you look at the flags, it ain't down there. So difficult conditions for the players.
Different stadium to when you played here though, Derek, because it's all enclosed now. It's all closed, and apart from on that side, certainly it must help. It must help because you've not got the crosswinds.
Yeah, but those two areas you're talking about that are open, that's where the prevailing wind is. That's where it's gusting through. So there is certain areas of the park, which will affect the players. So far it doesn't look as if it's affecting Rangers. But I'd just like to see Dundee get the ball down a little bit more. Show a little bit more promise in terms of getting forward.
No, they're coming forward now with Tiffany, right hand side of the Rangers box, tries to clip it in, it comes off the defender, sliding in, and Dundee have their first corner of the afternoon in the 10th minute, 0-0, up the pitch really for the first time. And I was just about to say, when Derek was saying he'd like to see them play a little bit of football here, they've got some good footballers in that Dundee side.
Yeah, I've always liked Tiffany, you know, I watched them numerous times when I was at Partick Thistle. Really entertaining, a little change of pace, little drop of the shoulder, so it does things off the cuff and creates chances for other players.
Dundee corner, which is clipped in with the right foot towards the 6-yard line. A little flick from Kumetio, but it's glanced off his forehead and out for a throw-in on the reverse side over in the main stand side of the pitch, and it will be a Rangers throw to be taken by Tavernier. Perhaps the thing is with corners like that is you've got to generate so much power in the neck muscles, and very difficult for Kumetio or anyone else there for that matter in Dundee colours to be able to do anything with that corner. Didn't come in with too much pace, and Sterling's forced back to his goalkeeper. Kelly clears, McGee's underneath it, but he can only head it out for a throw-in on this near side. Rangers 0, Dundee 0 here on Sportsound.
And you can see that they're looking to, you know, move that ball as quickly as possible, but Dundee again and just retreat into that shape, you know, they're just going to make it difficult for them. So Rangers have got to use the width of the park, and as I said earlier, you know, play that 1 and 2 touch with that pace of the ball to try and get round this Dundee side.
Still just the one goal in the 4 divisions of the SPFL so far, still relatively early. Clyde 1-0 up on Forfar Athletic in League 2. Sterling switches it to Proper. Up to the halfway line, it's a long ball from Robin Proper, looking for Egaman. He is going to get onto it, left hand side of the Dundee box, under pressure from Portales, dinks it back to Hadji. First time out to the left for Jeffy, level with the Dundee penalty spot, comes back to Hadji, level with the 18-yard line, looking to get it back to Jeffy, too much on it though, and Carson sees it behind for the goal kick, with Jeffy running into the back of him and clattering into the digital advertising behind the byline there. Rangers looking to try and get in behind that Dundee rear guard. And I mean, initially I had Jordan McGee down to play in midfield today, but he's playing over on the left hand side right now, but more than capable of going in at centre back too to help out the other 3 big guys there, Astley, Portales and Kumetio.
Yeah, he can play in a number of positions, you know, from the back into the midfield area, and he's always been capable as a football player, so it ain't going to faze him.
Arbroath have gone 1-0 up at Annan in League 1 as Dundee try and do some defending. Egaman's got it through to Danilo's round about the penalty spot. It wouldn't settle for him though. It is blocked, comes out to Tavernier, swings it in first time. Kumetio heads clear out to this near side where Tiffany heads it on and out for a Rangers throw-in. So Annan 0, Arbroath 1 at Gallowbank. A result that would put Arbroath top of the table, leapfrogging Stennismere in the 3rd tier.
Liam, that was brilliant play from Egaman, you know, just getting on the half turn, 30 yards from goal, and
that's a really deep cross into the box. Tavernier's header goes straight into the
what was going to
arms
say,
of Carson. Nothing each here.
He's got such a brilliant knack of how he nutmegs people, you know, it just draws them in, and you know, 9 times out of 10 he gets the nutmeg, but I tell you what, he finds a lovely little ball to Danilo, and I just think Danilo should have done a little bit better. First touch could have been a little bit better, and he maybe could have got a little kind of spin on it, get a strike at goal, but maybe wasn't just quite good enough. But I tell you, that's what the Rangers midfield certainly got to do, find Egaman in those little kind of pockets of space where he just drifts into them, you know, but he's ever so good when he's on that half turn.
What was I saying about blue skies?
Yeah.
The rain is chucking it down again all of a sudden. I could barely see any clouds 2 minutes ago, and now it's leaden skies above on the shortest day of the year, the winter solstice this afternoon into this evening. And it is Proper out to Jeffy on the far side, and he rolls it back to Proper, left of the centre circle in his own half, squaring it for Sterling. He'll have no problem, Derek, going in at centre back. We've seen him there plenty.
He's comfortable. He's comfortable in most positions, Liam. He's got all the kind of attributes in terms of that physicality that he's got. He's got the pace. But what I like to see the two centre backs every now and again, I think they should look to play a diagonal, just a little bit longer over the top, try and stretch this Dundee side.
There's Rangers on the left hand side with Hadji. Aberdeen have gone 1-0 up against Hibs. Topi Keskinen has scored the goal 14 minutes into that one. Aberdeen 1, Hibs 0. Here at Ibrox it remains goalless, and it's Hadji back into the centre circle for Sterling. You'll then square it there for Proper. Low ball out wide left for Jefty. Controls almost in the midway point of the Dundee half. Infield to Igaman. Diamonde leaves it. Raskin was in behind him, then rolls it out low wide right here for Tavernier. Tavernier takes it for a run infield, finds Diamonde. Now it's with Czerny on the turn on the left foot. It's onto the left side. It's blocked in behind for a Rangers corner. And there's whoever took the blow there, and I'm assuming it's Lyle Campbell, given the way he's reacted there. He's taken a bit of a blow to the face. The referee stopped play momentarily. I think he's going to be all right.
I think there was a little deflection before it did hit him on the face. I just think Rangers at times maybe just overplaying a little bit, you know, and with these conditions, Liam, I think you'd be more inclined, you know, at times, not all the time, but just shoot from distance, because it must be difficult, as we're touching on the rain coming down, that blustery wind, difficult conditions for the keepers.
It will be a Rangers corner on this near side, and outswinger with the right boot from Tavernier. Into the box it comes. It looked like it was going to fall for Proper. Well defended by Kumetio. He started this game really well, having previously been at Liverpool. He was very highly rated. Billy Kumetio is having a good afternoon so far. Still very early, 16 in, nothing each. It is Jefty in the centre circle, rolling it to the left for Raskin. There are quite a few empty seats in the home sections. Obviously it's a foul day. I'm assuming the ferries have been, lots of ferries have been cancelled because of the yellow weather warning that's out for wind, which covers the entire weekend basically. So I think quite a lot of people haven't made it because of that.
Yeah, I think you've got to factor in something else. Maybe the certain if there's a certain lady in the house maybe coming up to Christmas, might distract you, you know, in terms of I'm getting a wee shake of the head from a certain female that works for the BBC.
Yes, Jane Lewis is 2 seats away. Just you behave yourself.
Sometimes they pull rank, don't they? But we all love them.
Here's Rangers with Danilo at the edge of the box. Side boots for goal, and Carson grabs it at the second attempt. It looked like it might just squirm away from him, but it's now in the gloves of the Dundee goalkeeper. 17 in, Rangers 0, Dundee 0, and Derek is for it at half time, I think.
Yeah,
I've seen that look before.
I tell you what, Danilo, he's got a wonderful opportunity there, hasn't he, to get a good strike. I've just changed the subject as quick as I can. He should hit it a little bit better. Keeper, you know, just spills it there, and for a moment looked as if Igaman was going to take advantage.
Here's Raskin for Rangers, rolling it out to the left-hand side for Jefty. Forward it comes to Igaman, first time. Back out onto the touchline for Hadji. Now Raskin sweeps it to Dujon Sterling, midway inside his own half. Now finds Tavernier, it's a dink ball forward, he's got it over McGee, and now it's Czerny, just outside the box in his left side, looking for space. Gets to the edge of the D, finds Igaman, gets it out from under his feet, shoots with the left, blocked and out for a Rangers throw-in over on the far side. Rangers 0, Dundee 0. 18 minutes played. Yeah,
and they're starting to mix their game up a little bit better, you know, going a little bit longer at times. A wonderful ball from Tavernier into Czerny. Then, you know, he looks to play in Igaman, and could he be a little bit sharper? Yeah, but, you know, just Rangers showing signs, you know, starting to make an impact in this final third.
1-1 at Pittodrie, and Eli Johan has cancelled out that Keskinen goal in quick fire time as Hadji picks up left hand side of the box. Back to the left angle there for Jefty, taking on Mulligan. No real space, just to roll it back to Raskin. Raskin then out to the far side. It comes off a Dundee boot and out for a Rangers throw-in, and it is taken quickly back to Nicholas Raskin. So Aberdeen and Hibs share 6 goals just a few weeks ago, and Aberdeen led 2-1 and 3-2 in second half stoppage time, still didn't win the game, and that's Hibs hitting back again practically immediately against the Dons as Czerny picks up wide on the right hand side, down the line for Diamonde, rolls it infield to Igaman, level with the 6-yard line, back it comes towards the 18, but it is cleared by Tiffany, only half away. It's now Czerny Rolls it wide left for Jeffy. Intense pressure on the Dundee defence now. Hadji fires it across. Comes off the defender and over the bar onto the roof of the net of Portales or Astley. It might well have been Astley in the end. And it goes behind for a Rangers corner. Nothing each here.
Yeah, you start to sense it. Rangers, starting to get into their groove, certainly in that final third, and they're asking the question. It must be so hard for Dundee, that focus that they have to have, just try to keep that discipline, but it just takes a moment. They could find themselves on the wrong side of the goal.
In comes the corner, it's headed away by McGee, it's good defending, breaks back out to Hadji, wide on the left. Finds Tavernier, who'd taken the corner, back to Hadji, goes for goal, and it just clips the top of the crossbar, and it's way behind for the goal kick. Wonderful hit there by Yanis Hadji, and Carson delighted to see it just bounce off the top of his goal frame and behind for the goal kick. 20 played, nothing each. Derek, Rangers enjoying 85% possession at the end, almost at the end of the first quarter of the game, and Hadji going as close as they've come to scoring.
It was absolutely brilliant, and again, Rangers, I'm talking about mixing up their general play. That time they've got a corner kick, they don't elect to put the ball into the box, take a short corner kick, and Hadji away over on that left side, just takes it on his right foot. I tell you what, it's a wonderful hit, just clips the top of the bar.
We've not got the benefit of replays. Rangers seem to think it took a slight nick off a Dundee player before it clipped the bar and went over, so they were expecting a corner. A goal kick was given, and it remains nothing each here. It looks like Cove Rangers have gone ahead in League One against Alloa, so that the second goal in League One this afternoon. Arbroath leading Annan by 1-0 as well. Cove 1, Alloa 0 at the Balmoral. And it's still just that one goal in the 5 games in League 2. Clyde 1, Forfar Athletic 0. And the 2 at Pittodrie, Aberdeen 1, Hibs 1. Keskinen and Johan trading goals in the opening quarter of that one. 0-0 Ross County St Mirren. And the other game in the Premiership in Dingwall. It is a throw-in over on the far side for Dundee. They're up the pitch here. This is about level with the Rangers penalty spot. They've not seen the ball at all too often, certainly not in this kind of area. They did have a corner a few minutes ago, and this is going to be a long throw-in from Ryan Astley, the Welshman, over on the far side. You bowl it into the Rangers box. What can Dundee make of this? It's headed away by Proper. Bouncing ball at the edge of his own box. Egaman controls, a little bit of keepy up as well. He's had it taken off him by Astley, and it will break Egaman's way as Astley swung to try to get it into the box. The clearance from Egaman went straight to McGee, whose header from outside the box. Liam Kelly just allows it to go past his left-hand post, and it stays Rangers 0, Dundee 0. 22 played.
Not quite sure what Egaman was up to there, finds himself away back in that left back area, wins his little duel, but then tries to play a diagonal ball right across the box, and McGee gets it, but just deflects it out. But they've clearly came with a game plan, Dundee. They're going to sit in, try and frustrate a little bit, but sometimes, is that the right way to go about it?
Well, here come Rangers. It's Czerny into the box, side foot ball towards the penalty spot, and it's a sliding Silla who clears out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. Can understand the Dundee tactics. Mentioned this a couple of times when watching Rangers games recently, is that they've not really, you could argue the cup final last week and the Spurs game, they have upped the ante, but not too often this season have they put together a 90-minute performance. Normally, if you can get through the first 20, there can be a little bit of frustration amongst the home supporters and the home players. But here come Rangers with Czerny. There is a sense, though, as I said, over the course of the last 2-3 weeks, that they have ratcheted things up slightly as Hadji collects on this right-hand side, the inside channel, out wide right for Raskin, level with the edge of the Dundee D. Czerny with a dummy, gets it back from Tavernier, finds Danilo, and then Raskin and Tavernier get it in each other's way, and it might have been Raskin's final touch, maybe bounced off Tavernier and behind for the goal kick. That was fabulous build-up play by the home team. It stays Rangers 0, Dundee 0.
Yeah, it's wonderful. A little bit of interchange of play there. Talking about commanding a game, from start to finish. The only game I I can think of, Liam, is probably the Kilmarnock game, the 6-0 game, where they were excellent, you know, and that's what they were being asked the question, because it was all in little kind of fits and starts, but you've got to sometimes look at the opposition they're up against as well. Against Tottenham, you know, that intensity they showed. Same again against Celtic last week. So the quality, the intensity, it's gone up, and they've certainly dominated this game for long periods. I just think when you look at the back two, it's a back two that have not played. I'm talking about Rangers. I'll let this go. You know, they've not been tested, so you would maybe think that Dundee would want to ask the question, and so far they haven't.
Rangers on the ball on the far side. Proper took a chance there, but he gets away with it. Seb Palmer-Houlden was all over him. Rangers have it back, and it's switched out to the right of the centre circle for Sterling. He finds Czerny on this near side touchline. Up against Tiffany. Shimmies infield, finds Diamonde, finds Hadji at close quarters, back to Czerny. Under some serious pressure was Hadji there. He's knocked it back into the centre circle for Raskin, who finds Proper. Then out to the left-hand side for Jefty. Jefty trying to get onto it on the far side. Rolls it back the way to Proper. Plays it left to right of the circle here for Sterling. Out to Tavernier, wide on the right hand side, level with the edge of the box again, almost. Rolls it infield to Sterling. Thought about the ball in himself. He likes to roll it back out to Tavernier. Tavernier with the left foot, side foot ball to Danilo into the box. It comes, and Carson smothers at the feet of the Rangers captain. Again, it's very intricate from Rangers. At times they've almost tried to pass the ball into the net after some excellent little gives and goes.
Yep.
Just the edge of the box, and at some point they'll breach Dundee playing like that if they keep at it. It stays nothing each.
Yeah, but the other problem is, Liam, it's got to be absolutely spot on. You know, the way to pass is so difficult, you know, when you're talking about I mean, people might think this is strange, but a 10-yard pass, you know, on a kind of slick surface, you've got to be absolutely spot on, and it's such a difficult thing to produce. So Rangers, they're showing signs. They've hit the bar so far. They've a lot of pressure, but I don't think they've worked the keeper for my liking quite enough with that amount of possession they've had.
He's claimed a few things, Carson, but there's not been shots on his goal as Proper sees it behind for a goal kick. St Mirren have gone in front against Ross County in Dingwall, and of course it's the returning Alex Iacovitti who scored a few earlier in the season. Did Iacovitti, having just arrived at the Paisley Club in the summer, former Ross County player, of course. Ross County 0, St Mirren 1. So this now the only goal in the Premiership, just the three of them without a goal as yet, as Tavernier finds Danilo inside his own half though, back from Diamonde to Raskin, who knocks it forward to Hadji, gets it out to that left hand side for Jefty, infield to Egaman, back into his own half for Proper, who finds Raskin. Rangers trying to find a way through. Tavernier has it on this near side. Rangers haven't been higher than third in the league this season. If they win this and Aberdeen don't beat Hibs, it will move them up to second. Still 8 behind Celtic, who'll have a game in hand, but here come Rangers. Jefty dancing the edge of the box, goes down, and the referee gives the free kick. It's slightly left to centre. I think Matthew McDermott might still have a word with Jefty, threw himself to the ground after I think there was a foul, but then he maybe thought he wasn't getting it, and he's thrown himself to the ground spectacularly after it. But it is a Rangers free kick, and it's in a very decent position here, Derek, maybe 22, 23 yards from goal, slightly left to centre.
Yeah, I think, Liam, if there was contact, it was minimal. I just think he's moving at such pace, so I think Salah excuse me, has to commit himself to the challenge, but I'm not too sure he got a lot on that. So once Jefty was past him, then he elected to go down because he knew he wasn't going to get regain possession of the ball. So you could see it's clever from Jefty, but what it is, it's what an opportunity certainly for Tavernier. This is certainly his distance.
No, absolutely is, and Czerny and Hadji will both feel it is their distance too, and those are the three players that are over this set play for Rangers.
I think the captain might pull rank.
Yeah, although Czerny might be able to whip this top right. Carson stands in his goal line. There's a couple of Rangers players in front of the Dundee wall. Tavernier is pulling rank, right footed. Oh, it's off the underside of the bar. It bounces down and away by Dundee. Back to Tavernier, who lashes it towards goal, and it is blocked before Hadji tries to keep the attack alive. Jefty Can he keep it in play? Yes, he can. He's done brilliantly on the far side, but Dundee win it back. May well have just gone out, may well just be an offside. Anyway, it will be a Dundee ball, Dundee free kick. 29 played, Rangers 0, Dundee 0. I mean, how often have we seen James Tavernier convert free kicks from that kind of range, and he's so unlucky. Really good effort, just clipped the underside of the bar this time, but it bounced the wrong side of the goal line for him. The absolute right side of the goal line if you're Tony Docherty. It stays nothing each.
The thing is, Liam, from my perspective, I'm waiting to see the net, you know, bustling with a goal there. What a hit it was, you know. It's the pace, you know, to get it up and down, the accuracy, you know. You're talking, and we are talking inches from that going right into the top corner. Just clips, you know, the underside of the bar and bounces down and away to safety. But yeah, I always fancied him there, you know. I think the captain was always going to pull rank.
Rangers have it with Czerny on this near side, midway inside Dundee territory. He rolls it in field to Diamonde, who'll switch it to the left of the circle proper, midway inside the Dundee half as he rampages forward, out to the left for Hadji. Jeff Day in support, Hadji moves in field, low ball to Diamonde, to Raskin, and now with Sterling. Sterling finds Czerny. Once again the conditions are not too bad now. The rain off again as Danilo pushes it back to Diamonde, flashes it out to Egaman with a couple of touches. Right foot cross comes in, headed away by Portales for Dundee. This is hard work for Dundee, this.
Yeah, and the discipline they're showing is unbelievable. Fitness as well, the focus, because all it takes is one or two, or even just one to switch off and you get killed. But so far, so good for them, you know. That's half an hour. It looked like they set out a game plan just to sit in and frustrate, but Rangers already hit the bar a couple of times and, you know, looking to just get their noses in front. And the one thing, you know, if you're looking from again a Rangers perspective, you know, the fans, you know, ain't getting on their back, you know, they're enjoying what they're seeing.
Tavernier crosses in looking for Danilo, flicked away by Astley, and that will be at the expense of Rangers' latest corner on the far side. 31 on the clock.
Yeah, and the pressure continues. You know, 31 minutes gone now. As an attacking force, Dundee, you know, I think they've been up the park once, twice at most. But if they continue to sit in, you know, there's only going to be one outcome. You know, Rangers eventually, one will drop. You know, where it's from a set piece or where it's from open play. I think they're asking for trouble.
Out-swinging corner on the far side. Hadji taking this one. The Rangers left, and it comes flicked away and behind again for another corner. And another Rangers corner. This time it's Astley again. I think actually it's come off of. Hadji will take again, though Tavernier has come out to help him out. Still just the one shot on target for Rangers as it comes in. Proper with a header, flicks it across the face of the penalty box, breaks out wide right for Czerny. Drops the shoulder onto his left side, back onto the right. Now he stays in his right, drives it across, and Carson with a brilliant save. Hadji tries to fire it back in, when it beats everyone and goes out for a Dundee throw-in on this near side. Goalkeeper definitely called into action on that occasion as he denied Czerny. So often loves to come on his left-hand side. He was on the right that time, driving into the box, looking for that bottom reverse corner. Carson, really good, strong goalkeeping.
That's excellent.
0-0.
Excellent, Liam, from Czerny. You know, yeah, he looks as if he's cutting in from this right-hand side onto that left foot just to pass it, you know, into the end. And then he just all of a sudden cuts back. He's onto that right foot and he looks, well, he elects for power. You know, Carson does ever so well, you know, to get down, deflect it past that post.
So it stays 0-0 here at Ibrox. Aberdeen 1, Hibs 1, Pittodrie and Dingwall, Ross County 0, St Mirren 1. The deadlock has been broken in the Championship. Greenock Morton leading Dunfermline by a goal to 0. A boys' goal on 22 minutes. Morton 1, Dunfermline 0 in the Championship. Looking through the rest of the divisions, Arbroath have got a second. They now lead Annan 2-0. Cove still 1-0 up on Alloa. Rangers come forward down the left. Egaman rolls it low into the box. It's cut out though well there by Dundee. It was Portales this time, and they're going to get a free kick for a foul on Silla. Dumbarton have gone in front at Lynx against Montrose, and also in League 1, and East Fife in League 2 have gone 1-0 up on Spartans. That's you up to date. You can keep up to date with the scorelines at any time at bbc.co.uk/sports. Scotland, this is Sports Sound. Liam McLeod alongside Derek Ferguson at Ibrox. And I think Derek's enjoying watching Hamza Egaman this afternoon.
It's another nutmeg. It's quite incredible how many times he sucks a player in, and then he just... It's terrific skill. It's brilliant to watch. How do you contain him? I'm not so sure, but he just got to find that end product as well. You know, maybe a little bit slack, and maybe I'm being overcritical of him, but just got to be a little bit better with the final pass. But it's been one-way traffic, and you just wonder about this Dundee side. They must be tired, not just physically, but mentally, because they need to get a grip of the ball. They need to just get a kind of a little passage of play in this game, just to give themselves a breather.
Yeah, Dundee, one touch in the Rangers box in this first half so far.
And you touched on it, Liam. They've got some talented players in that Dundee side.
Hibs 2-1 up, having trailed Aberdeen at Pittodrie. Nicky Cadden, who scored a wonderful free kick against Aberdeen in that 3-3 draw, has just turned the game in Hibs' favour. They've certainly been better recently, Hibs. Not a great first half last week, but ultimately, again, came from behind in that one to win that game, as Rangers give away a free kick wide on the right-hand side. And this is Dundee up the pitch this time, a bit level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box.
Again, I don't know how... Well, I don't know how too much is in that, you know. We've got to remember, there's been a lot said about referees this week, but it's a contact sport. They're all coming together at times, you know, and sometimes players know that and they just elect to go to the ground. But I tell you what, they'll be delighted with this Dundee, because we're talking about they need a breather, but this is a dangerous position, certainly for Rangers, because they can get that ball whipped into that box with a little bit of pace and see how Rangers handle it.
Real opportunity. They did have one corner kick earlier, but in the final 10 minutes of the first half. But this is a free kick, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers penalty area, a few yards from the far side touchline over on the Govan side. And it comes, it's not the worst delivery, it's headed away well by Jeffrey, and Hadji helps it on its way, and Czerny chases. He's a bit nicked off him by Tiffany though. Hooks it back over his head. The header from Tavernier out to this near side with Czerny. Tiffany battling with him. Czerny manages to get it back to Sterling, who rolls it infield to Raskin, who squares it to Proper. Rangers 0, Dundee 0. Rangers desperately trying to get in front before half-time. But there has been a real purpose and poise about their play in this first half, which, as Derek says, is probably what's pacifying the Rangers supporters at the moment, because a month ago they'd be getting dogs abuse.
Yeah, but a month ago, Liam, it was slow. The build-up play, you can actually see they're playing with a purpose, they're playing with a belief, they're playing with quality, and certainly when they get into that final third, the 1 and the 2 touch, you know, it is there, you know, and they've got that change of pace. So they've been a good watch, but the important thing is, you know, and that's from a Dundee perspective, it's still nothing each, so they've got to still try and find a way, although they've hit the bar a couple of times.
They have, but they're not pounding Trevor Carson's goal, and that's the only disappointment, I suppose, from the Rangers supporters' point of view and from the manager's point of view about this first half performance. For Tony Docherty, plan A is still in play.
Just
here's Czerny on this near side, a little spin away from McGee. Checks back infield onto his left side, drives it forward, but it comes all the way through to Trevor Carson. He's not been able to settle on a number one choice this season, Tony Docherty, has he? Yeah. It's been between he and Carson and McCracken.
And I wonder how that goes, you know, with the keepers, what that does for their confidence, and even the boys in front of you. You know, I think you always like to have a settled back line, you know, because you get that understanding. So it's quite surprising.
Raskin nicks it off Tiffany, goes back to Proper, who in turn goes back to Liam Kelly, who we did ask the question before a ball was kicked, how much would he be tested today? He's not been tested at all.
No.
He set up a hammock between the two posts and have a snooze. at the moment. Dundee, though, if they can get, all it needs is one set play. They've had a couple of them. They could cause problems with that.
It can change ever so quickly, Liam. We know in this game, but that was the first sign of frustration for Rangers there. Just moments ago, Czerny, looked to play a long ball over the top. It was never on. He should have just come back out, kept possession of the ball. So, we don't know. Maybe that's the first sign of frustration. And the Dundee players, whether they'll take that in, whether they'll notice that, I'm not so sure. But they've had no foothold whatsoever in this game so far. But the good thing is, it remains nothing each. And at the moment, they're coming away from Ibrox with a point, which would be a good point.
Partick Thistle have gone in front at Airdrieonians in the Championship, so 1-0 to the Jags. Still 1-0 Morton against Dunfermline, goalless at Falkirk and Livingston. That Livy Ayr United game looks like a big one. The top end of the second tier. Rangers have it with Tavernier on the near side. Side football in for Diamande, trying to shake off Cameron. That's the thing, Dundee have not been able to get their midfield involved in the game at all. Lyle Cameron, Scott Tiffany, good players. Mulligan as well. They've not had an opportunity to impress. Here's Tiffany though, flicking it forward. Now Palmer Holden trying to hold off Raskin, who just nicks it off him and rolls it back to his keeper, Liam Kelly, with just over 5 minutes of the opening 45 to play. Rangers 0, Dundee 0.
Yeah, a little bit of slack play from Sterling there, just losing a little bit of focus. You seen Tiffany there breaking forward. There's 3-4 Rangers players round about him. Plays the ball forward, and there's Raskin. We talk about that, the recovery, that fitness that he's got. Just easing the ball away from the Dundee player to keep possession. But it was slack play certainly from Sterling.
Dundee higher up the pitch here. McGee with a throw-in, level the edge of the D of the Rangers box, but they've contrived to give it away again. It's not going to help their cause now because they've got so many up the pitch. They're struggling at the back. Diamonde's finding a man driving up to the edge of the penalty area, runs into trouble. It's well defended by Portales, is blocked by Portales, brings to Danilo, and his effort from 18 yards is pulled wide of the left hand post, and it stays Rangers 0, Dundee 0. There's the warning for Dundee. They were all out of position there and they were almost caught short at the back.
Yeah, and there's the learning curve as well, but for Igaman, he's got his 1v1, he's got to get the shot off. It's as simple as that. He's driving at the defender, he backs him into the area, so it's just a touch out your feet, strike it goal, and try and test the keeper, or put the ball in the back of the net. But that was probably the one time that Dundee committed a number of players forward, and that's what created that 1v1.
2 goals in 9 minutes for Alan Troughton. East 5-2, Spartans 0 in League 2, and I believe Partick Thistle have scored again at Airdrieonians. What a fall from grace for Rhys McCabe that's been. The Airdrie manager, bottom of the league, having come so close to potential promotion last season. It's all gone horribly wrong for them as Raskin finds Diamande. Confirmation there, Airdrieonians 0, Partick Thistle 2. Czerny has it for Rangers as the rain comes down again, rolls it low into the box. Portales blocks it though, and Astley out to the far side, and now it's with Josh Mulligan. Tiffany's away if he can find him in behind the defenders here. He's run too much as far as that's concerned because he's in an offside position now, but it's rolled out right hand side. Palmer Holden looks up and he gets it all wrong with the cross, and it's too high for Tiffany. Cameron slaps the turf in frustration. He wanted the low pull back there, and it goes out for a throw. And there were a couple of potential bad decisions by Palmer Holden there, Derek. He had the opportunity to slip it through, or just kind of chip it through towards Tiffany. Chose against that, decided to continue running. It looked like even then it was going to work out for him, but he didn't have the end product with the cross, and it stays nothing each.
And again, easy for us up here, but when he's driving forward, he's got to get his head up. Tiffany, he's in acres of space away in this left hand side, but he continues down that right hand side, and the chance is gone. It allows the Rangers players to get back in, get behind the ball. But Rangers just got to be careful of that as well, because as I say, Dundee not been up the park much so far, but it's just in the last 2-3 minutes just shown a little bit more ambition in this game, which you certainly haven't done for most part.
I don't think you can underestimate how important a day it is for Ayr United. They're at Livingston and Nick McAllister just put them in front. They're in danger of slipping away from the top two couple of points between Falkirk and Livy, then you're going back a little bit more for Ayr United, but they're 1-0 up at Ammanvale. McAllister with a goal late in the first half there. Still Aberdeen 1, Hibs 2, Ross County 0, St Mirren 1, and goalless here in the 3 matches in the top flight. Got about 90 seconds left to the 45 minutes. Long ball Carson, header from McGee. Palmer Holden wins the header as well. Finds Tiffany wide left in the Rangers box. Dundee coming to life right at the last knock-ins of the first half. The cross is cut out by Sterling and out for a throw into the D on this near side, about level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Better last few minutes for Dundee, releasing the pressure.
Yeah, and Holden just peeling on to Proper and using his physicality. Proper certainly didn't enjoy that, you know, nodding it down to Tiffany, and that's what Dundee have got to try and do. Get young Tiffany on the ball. You know, he can go and make things happen.
Throwing out on this near side for Rangers, here midway inside Dundee territory. Ball back to Tavernier. Infield to Diamonde. Now Raskin. Rangers cannot afford to drop points. They're 11 points behind Celtic. They'll know as well, the Rangers fans, those who are across it, that Aberdeen are losing as Hadji crosses in, headed away by Kumetio out to the far side and out for a Rangers throw-in. We'll be finding out what the stoppage time is going to be. There's going to be at least 1 minute added on because the board is out. The fourth official down there has the board in his hands, so there's going to be something added on at the end of this first half as Hadji rolls it infield to Egaman and then back to Proper. Left to right of the circle for Raskin. Raskin on the turn, back into the centre circle. 1 minute added. Sterling has it, now Proper. Proper with the right foot low ball out to the left hand side for Jefty. Looks up at the box, selects to play it short to Egaman. Crucial that for Dundee that they don't concede here. Massively so. How often do teams come to Glasgow and lose a goal late in a first or second half? Here's Tavernier, midway inside the Dundee half. Square ball for Mohamed Diamonde, rolls it low out to the left hand side for Jefty. Takes a touch, crosses in with the left. Danilo with the header back to Hadji on the volley, blocked by his own man Egaman, and then booted away to safety by Sela. Again, it's good build-up play for Rangers. They just not had that final little bit in the penalty area.
Yeah, big credit to Dundee. Liam there, you know, getting bodies in the way. It did fall with Hadji, you know, a good opportunity on the volley, but you know, that Dundee defence, you know, been brave, been strong. You know, I don't know how they're going to get to half time without conceding, but they have, and they'll take real heart from that.
Here's Tierney though, he's found Diamonde, the last action of the first half. It's blocked by Cameron. Breaks back to Diamonde on this near side. It was blocked inside the penalty area. We've played the 1 minute, we're in a second minute here. It's Tierney dropping the shoulder down to the byline and booted away, and Matthew McDermott can blow for half time with the scoreline at 0-0. Rangers have hit the bar twice through Hadji and through Tavernier, with Tierney testing Carson. Dundee have barely been up the pitch, but for them, as they look to try and replicate what their neighbours United did here a number of weeks ago and take a point at least from the match, it's so far so good for the visitors. Half time at Ibrox, Rangers 0, Dundee 0.
A header, it was a corner that was only half cleared, and he was there just to nod it into the back of the net, so the problems look to be continuing for the home side. Half time, Ayr Unions 0, Partick Thistle 2.
Thanks to Kenny Crawford. Are you still playing, Chick?
Half time at
just finished,
Kenny.
Thanks, Dodgy. Yes.
Just finished as you came. Yeah, just finished as you came to me, Kenny. It's half time at Capello, and it's Morton 1, Dunfermline 0. Only goal of the first half from Morgan Boys after 22 minutes. Corner on the right hand side. Boys with a fine header beyond Uluwemi, the Dunfermline goalkeeper, who's taken a few chances at times coming out his goals. But in any case, he's trailing Forage Park side. Morton ahead 1-0.
Thanks to Chick Young there. So stay with us in sports, and we're with you right through until 7 o'clock this evening. From 5:30, reaction from managers, from pundits, and of course from the fans. Lots of excitement around the country today, despite the very difficult and challenging position. So we'll go around the grounds in a couple of minutes' time and get all the half-time reports on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder. What a goal!
BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
On BBC iPlayer.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome! I'm absolutely buzzing, I am.
Oh, that's champion.
We've got Christmas sorted.
Okay, look in the sack, quick.
Can we?
Well, I can't believe what I'm seeing here.
Oh, a Wallace onesie.
Brand new Gavin and Stacey, Gladiator Celebrity Special, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and loads more.
Well, come on.
Tidy. Christmas on BBC iPlayer.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. In the Premiership, half-time scores: Aberdeen 1, Hibs 2, Rangers 0, Dundee 0, Ross County 0, St Mirren 1. In the Championship, half-time: Airdrie 0, Partick Thistle 2, Falkirk 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Livingston 0, Ayr United 1, Morton 1, Dunfermline 0. In League 1, Annan Athletic 0, Arbroath 3, Cove Rangers 1, Alloa Athletic 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Cooney of the South 0, Montrose 0, Dumbarton 1, Stenhousemuir 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 0. In League 2, Clyde 1, Forfar Athletic 0, East Fife 2, Spartans 0, Edinburgh City 0, Elgin City 0, Peterhead 0, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Bonnyrigg down to 10 men, Stirling Albion 0, Stranraer 0. In England, it finished at lunchtime: Aston Villa 2, Manchester City 1, half-times: Brentford 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Ipswich Town 0, Newcastle United 3, West Ham United 0, Brighton 0. 5:30 kick-off. Crystal Palace are at home to Arsenal. There's the option of commentary or open all mics from the game at Ibrox this afternoon. Rangers up against Dundee. Let's now hear from our commentary team of Derek Ferguson and Liam McLeod.
Well, it's goalless. The Rangers supporters are sticking with their team because they've played some decent stuff, the home team. But when you look at the statistics, 81% possession for Rangers, 11 shots, just 2 of them on target. That despite 26 total touches inside the box. Dundee have had 1 solitary touch in the Rangers penalty area, so that does tell the story as far as the dominance of the match by Rangers is concerned. However, plan A is still very much in play for Tony Docherty and his men right now. They've come here with a plan to try and frustrate and do what their neighbours did just a few weeks ago here and take something from Ibrox, though it has been hard work for them, and Rangers have hit the bar a couple of times. Hadji from distance, Tavernier from a free kick as well outside the box. Hadji clipping the top of the bar, Tavernier smashing the underside of the bar. Unfortunately for Trevor Carson and his Dundee teammates, it bounced the right side of the line as far as they were concerned. Cherney also tested Trevor Carson with a shot from a tight angle, right hand side of the penalty area. But Derek, it's frustrating for Rangers just now. Great for Tony Docherty, because this is what he's come here to do, frustrate. Yeah. And it's been absolutely fine for them so far, despite the couple of efforts that have come off the goal frame.
Yeah, from a Rangers point of view, it's been a real strong performance. All that's missing is a goal, but from that Dundee perspective, you know, they'll be delighted. They've came with a game plan. At the moment they're getting away with their point, but Rangers just need to be a little bit more clinical in the final third. And you would imagine he'll take all 3 points. But yeah, Tony Docherty, he'll be delighted that his side are sitting in there in that dressing room without conceding a goal. So all to play for in the second half.
And given what's happening at Pittodrie right now, Rangers know if they score a goal without conceding, and if it stays the same in Aberdeen, then Rangers would get up to second, and they've not been out, or not been in the top 2 this season, so that will be their target. Dundee, same again for them. They'll hope half time here at Ibrox is Rangers 0, Dundee 0.
Full second half commentary to come from Derek Ferguson and Liam McLeod. Rory Loy is on open all mics duty for us from the game at Ibrox. It's been a great first half despite really challenging conditions at Pittodrie. Aberdeen against Hibs. There for us, Billy Dodds.
Thoroughly enjoyed it, Kenny. It was a slow start, but after 10 minutes it really took off, and it was the first chance for Aberdeen when McGrath combined with Keskinen out on the left hand side. His cut back saw Sokla from 6 yards, just thought he was going to put it in the net, but Bashiri came from nowhere with a goal saving block. 4 minutes later though, it was 1-0. Clarkson, a brilliant touch, brings it down. O'Hara was so poor for him. She gets sucked to the ball and he didn't have to, he didn't deepen, he released Keskinen, he did the rest with a fine curling finish into the bottom corner. But the lead only lasted 3 minutes. Simple, straightforward, effective. amateur defending from Aberdeen this time though. It was just a goalkeeper kick, a flick on. Rubizic completely miskicked it, let Boyle through. He was so unselfish, he just said to Eli Johan, you go and tap it into an empty net, son. So that was equaliser. Just before half time though, it was a great effort from Keskin, and the Dons were nearly back in front, picked it up on the left hand side again, cut in and hit a brilliant curling ball that's absolutely scalped off the post. It looked as if it was going to hit the top corner. It just goes along the line, missed the other post. What an effort it was. 11 minutes before the break though, it was 2-1 and Hibs hit the front. Vintage Martin Boyle goes to the byline, hangs up a lovely cross, and there was Nicky Cadden who absolutely flushed home a volley. Carbon copy 2 minutes later nearly put Hibs 3 up. Boyle again to the byline, hung up a cross, and Nicky Cadden this time headed it into the ground, and Doohan was able to save. It was an entertaining game end to end, but it's the High Bees who lead at the break. Half time at Pittodrie, it's Aberdeen 1, Hibs 2.
Thanks to Billy Dawes, no doubt at all. Nicky Cadden has been the standout player for Hibs in recent weeks. He has done really, really well. Let's get to John Robertson watching the game in Dingwall. Ross County at home to St Mirren, John.
Yes, it is, and both teams are doing their best to battle the elements. It's battering down again here at half-time. The subs don't look too happy to be out warming up, but no, both teams have done their best. It was St Mirren who are playing a more controlled football, as you'd imagine, into the wind, cannot put the ball in there, so they've been knocking it about the ground and playing little triangles, and they've got through on a few occasions. Mandarin, after only 3 minutes, headed one that looked over the bar right away, and then a great chance for Phillips. The ball broke to him at the edge of the box. He smashed a shot, which Jack Hamilton did well to parry away, and down the other end Chilvers had a free kick, a controversial free kick 20 yards out, but blasted it over in 26 minutes. It was St Mirren that took the lead. They got a free kick on the left. It was fizzed in by Kiltie. Jack Hamilton went down, looked like he could have done better. It seemed to go through his hands, hit his chest, it rebounded out. And if you'd picked one player that none of the Ross County fans in the stadium here wanted to fall to, it was Alex Iacovetti, ex-Ross County player and captain, and he slammed it into the back of the net to give St Mirren the lead. County threw the sides forward. Arata Bratic, Hale free scissor kick went wide, and then a chance for the Fetty at the back post as the ball dropped, but he blasted it over. As I say, conditions are hugely difficult. Both teams are trying their best. St Mirren look right up for this in the set, and what a size of a team they are. Only Greg Kiltie that I can see is under 6 foot plus, so they're a big, strong side, and they're certainly coping with the conditions at the moment. And it's got the 300 or so St Mirren fans who have braved the weather up to the Highlands here happy enough at half time, because it's Ross County 0, St Mirren 1.
Thanks to John Robertson. Yes, that in the back of a late dramatic win at McDermott Park last weekend. Let's get into the Championship. We are covering all 4 games this afternoon for you, starting off with leaders Falkirk at home to Hamilton Accies. There for us, Amy Canavan.
Yeah, Kenny, John McGlynn must be scratching his head in there at half-time. How his side are not ahead against Hamilton Accies, it's a little bit of a mystery. The league leaders, as you rightly say, have really ramped up the pressure in the final 5 minutes or so of the half, after taking a wee bit of time actually to find the rhythm, the rhythm which has taken them to the top of the pile so far, and really had that fantastic start to life back in the Scottish Championship. Ross McKeever, who's spearheaded most of that just before the whistle was peeped, he headed high from a couple of yards out, while the whole cavalry, it seemed, had a pop in one action, which I sort of described. I ran through every sort of name in that forward front line. Wide men, Ethan Ross, Alfie Agaman, they have been real threats, but Accies have too, in fairness, and they've looked dangerous on the counter. A few hairy scary moments at the back for the Bairns have presented Ollie Shaw and Kyle McDonald with sights at goal, but no celebrations so far, not an awful lot to cheer about here, but a captivating game nonetheless. And Santa is currently on the penalties, and he is the one who is receiving the most cheers from the stands. It's half time and it's Falkirk 0, Hamilton Accies 0.
Thanks to Amy Canavan there at Falkirk against Hamilton Accies. Livingston and Ayr United in close pursuit of the leaders. Brian McLaughlin is watching their game at Almonvale. Brian.
And it's Livingston 0, Ayr United 1. Scott Brown's side deservedly in front at the break. They've certainly dealt with the conditions much better than the hosts this afternoon. They took the lead 4 minutes before the break. Jay Henderson fired in a cross around waist high, the cross into the box, and it looked as if the Livingston goalkeeper Jerome Pryor was coming to collect, but George Oakley stuck out his right boot and deflected the ball into the back of the net. Ayr had chances early on though. McAllister with a half volley into the arms of Pryor, then Henderson had a shot that was cleared off the line before a Jamie Murphy effort deflected into the arms of Pryor. Livingston very little up front, although they thought they had taken the lead after 14 minutes
the ball, fired into the box. Tete Yengi controlled it. It did bounce up off the turf before he fired home. Referee Duncan Williams deemed that the ball had hit the arm of the Livingston striker and the goal was disallowed. So much work to do for Livingston in the second half if they want to push Falkirk all the way at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Ayr United, they know a win today would take them to within 1 point of Livingston this afternoon. Half time here, it's Livingston 0, Ayr United 1.
There's a really important game at the other end of the table. Morton home to Dunfermline. Let's hear the half-time report from Chick Young.
Yep, half-time Morton 1, Dunfermline 0, 1 goal in the first half coming from Morgan Boys. It was a corner kick whipped in from the right-hand side by Aaron Lyle, and Boys with a straightforward header got in among a ruck of players and delivered a low header beyond the Dunfermline goalkeeper. I would say that Morton are worthy of the lead. They've created more, I think, than Dunfermline have. They've had a westerly wind at the back, rattling up the Clyde. So that's helped them on their way, but of course it's not always that easy just to play with the wind at your back. The ball tends to run away from you sometimes, and but they've dealt well with it in that first half of Morton. They passed the ball well, they defended pretty capably indeed as well, and there was an early change. Owen Moffat had to come on for Nathan Shaw, who was injured in a challenge after just 12 minutes. Moffat actually has been a key player since his introduction and has tormented Dunfermline at the back, but will all change with the weather for Dunfermline. They'll have that wind at the back in the second half, but it is a significant lead that Morton have at the moment, and if they can hang on, they will go 4 points clear of Dunfermline at the bottom of the table. At the moment, no. Morton 1, Dunfermline 0.
Yeah, understandably so. Seeing a lot of Pars fans very unhappy on social media. Plenty more to come on that, I'm sure, in the second half. It's a big game there at Capello this afternoon. We'll get the half-time report from Airdrie in just a minute's time, but once again, a choice of listening on Sports. And for commentary of Rangers against Dundee, tune to digital 810 medium wave and BBC Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds. For open all mics, tune to BBC Radio Scotland on 92 to 95 FM and BBC Sounds. And you can follow all the action live online, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sports Scotland,
your smart speaker,
and BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
Scottish football lives here.
Welcome back from Ibrox Stadium. Liam McLeod here with Derek Ferguson. Second half coverage of Rangers Dundee coming up shortly. We're just waiting on the arrival of the two teams back out onto the pitch. 0-0. It is still same conditions, really windy. And again, it's a dry spell at the moment, thankfully, as Dundee look to try and grind some kind of positive result out of Ibrox, beaten by Hearts last time out. This isn't a happy hunting ground for them. This is the 119th league meeting between these two here. Dundee have won just 14 of them. Their last win all told against Rangers was in November 2017. And O'Hara double sealed a 2-1 victory for Neil McCann's side. Josh Windass got the Rangers goal, which had squared the game at that point. James Tavernier, the only survivor in the Rangers side. Clearly all change at Dundee as well. Even stalwarts like Cammy Kerr no longer at the club. O'Hara was on the score sheet in a 2-1 Dens victory the season before that one as well. Kevin Holt got the other. Paul Hartley was the manager. They won that one 2-1 as well. Rangers were managed by Graham Murphy for both of those matches. And those two wins at Dens are Dundee's only victories over Rangers in 36 attempts, going back to their superb win here in March 2001 under Ivano Benetti. Caniggia and Milne scored the goals, the second coming late on while Craig Moore was sent off for the host. They would win at Celtic Park as well a couple of months later. That remains their last victory in the East End of this city too. And they'd also won here the season before that as well under Jockey Scott, 2-1. Craig Ireland, Rod Wallace traded goals before Gavin Ray scored the winner in the second half in stoppage time. So late goals in those victories at Ibrox, but it's been a whole load of torture inside this stadium since then. And as I mentioned in the first half, 17 successive losses here. But Derek, they are all square at the intervals. We wait for the two teams to be back with us any second.
Yeah, Liam, it looks as if they've came with a game plan to sit in and frustrate. To me, that can be dangerous. I think they've been pretty fortunate in terms of, they haven't conceded so far. And you've got to look, Rangers hitting the bar not once but twice. Terrific. The first one was a terrific effort, got to say, from Hadji. Rangers mixing up their set pieces, not electing to put the ball into the box, looking for a short one. Played to Hadji, and what a strike it was away out in that left-hand side, just cutting in the right foot. I tell you, it's some power in it and accuracy, just clips the top of the bar. And then Tavernier, an absolute specialist from free kicks and from about 20 yards, clipping the underside of the bar. So they've rode their luck a little bit, Dundee, but sometimes you need to do that. You come to places like Ibrox, but Rangers have been very strong this afternoon. If you were a betting man, you would be thinking Rangers, if they keep producing that brand of football that they have in the first half, that they will notch, certainly this afternoon. But I'd just like to see Dundee being a little bit more ambitious at time in terms of getting forward.
Well, Rangers coming into this weekend 11 points behind the leader Celtic. They haven't lost in 90 minutes in their last 10 games since they were beaten at Pittodrie. Obviously a penalty shootout defeat after extra time last week. Dundee, just that one away victory, 2 points behind St Mirren coming into this. St Mirren occupying 6th spot. They are beating Ross County, although Dundee would sign up for a point from here, there's no question about that. Dundee will kick off the second half in their change, strip the white shirts with the navy trim, navy shorts, going from left to right, shooting towards the Copeland Road end of the stadium, which Rangers normally attack in the second half of matches. There in their blue shirts, white shorts. Dundee kick off, no changes for either team, and it's fired out of play by Dundee. Long ball for a Rangers throw-in on the far side. Rangers shooting towards Broomloan Road in this second half.
You can see the players just desperate to go on, mate, because you're talking about the conditions. It's bitterly cold as well, Liam, so players just coming out absolutely want to go on with the game.
Great drive and run by Mulligan into the Rangers box, right hand side of it. He's overcooked it though. Now he's looking for support. He did have some wide in this near side with Robertson, but he's completely wasted the opportunity. The Rangers ball out of defence is as poor as Dundee's attacking play there, but it does break back to Tiffany at the edge of the box. Heavy touch allows Sterling to clear. That was a really good positive bit of play by Mulligan, but it's come through. Rangers through to Czerny. He's in behind. Is he on or offside? Work that out in a moment. Czerny goes round the goalkeeper and slots it home. And there's no flag, so Václav Czerny goes away to celebrate. They will check it, but he's rolled it home with aplomb there. Went round Carson. The Dundee defence cut wide open, and it's Rangers 1, Dundee 0, just a minute into the second half.
Liam, my initial reaction, because we're in line, I thought he was off, to be honest with you, but Czerny doesn't know that. Drives forward, takes it round the goalkeeper. The angle's always against him a little bit. He shows a calm head, puts it into the back of the net, but I think that's why we need to see a check. You can see the reaction of the players, they're a little bit unsure.
Well, they're drawing the lines right now, so it must be tight enough if they're having to draw the lines.
But from my vantage point here, I just thought, it looked offside, but again, it's so difficult, isn't it? But it just shows you, Rangers with all that possession, all that quality in the first half, and wasn't the kind of a thing of beauty, but Czerny, he shows that calmness when he gets into that position. Just moments earlier, you look at Mulligan, similar position, why doesn't he get the shot off? Because it remains to be seen if it was a goal, but I'm not so sure myself.
Well, they're still delaying this. The goals are going to be given here. Czerny has got his 10th goal of the season, and Rangers avoid perhaps slipping into another malaise and period of frustration in this game by hitting Dundee early in the second half, and they do have that 1-0 lead through Czerny. Double figures for the Czech.
Fair play to the linesman, it didn't flag. I wasn't sure if it was just that phase of play, let it go on and then go and have a check, but just my initial reaction, I thought he just went a little bit too early.
Here's Silla for Dundee up the other end, shoots for goal, and it's over the bar by about a foot or so. It was worth the effort because it opened up beautifully for Mohamed Silla, but it's off target as Dundee tried to respond immediately, and Tony Docherty's plan A is now gone, blowing down Emerson Drive.
Yep, it's a crazy game at times because we've got Rangers in the lead, but already Dundee have got themselves up the park a couple of times with opportunities, to get shots off the goal.
Little ball dinked forward towards Hadji, too high for him, and it breaks all the way through to Trevor Carson. So Rangers 1, Dundee 0. Current scorelines put Rangers in the top 2 for the first time this season, and we are beyond the middle of December.
You just wonder, because they'd sat in so deep, Dundee, in that first period. They've showed a little bit more ambition, which I was asking for, but then they're a little bit more open at the back. Is that maybe the case why Rangers, got that opportunity? Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Well, it appears Hibs have gone 3-1 up as Dundee come forward down the left-hand side, but it's put behind for the corner there by Proper. Martin Boyle has put Hibs 3-1 up at Pittodrie against Aberdeen, who have completely and utterly fallen off a cliff. But that looks like a Hibs win there. Rangers have their noses in front here, and now Rangers have, there's 9 points between Aberdeen and Rangers at 1 point, and Rangers will now try and see this one out and then try and reel in Celtic if at all possible. Still a long way back as Cameron crosses in, and it's a comfortable take there for Liam Kelly. Rangers 1, Dundee 0. Just
shows you how things can turn, Liam. Earlier on in the season, Rangers really struggling to find any rhythm, any form of note. And you looked at Aberdeen, everything was going their way. They were a confident side, really solid at the back. And now Rangers look to get into that second spot.
Yeah, now listen, Mohamed Silla has just gone in with a really strong challenge on Hadji. He's been yellow carded by Matthew McDermott. It's right on the halfway line, and Hadji being helped up just now. They're just checking to see if there's any more in this, because it didn't look like a great challenge from Silla, and you can hear the gasps from the crowd when the challenge went in from the big Dundee midfielder, and they're happy with the yellow card decision. So free kick Rangers, yellow to Silla. Raskin plays it short there to Diamonde, rolls it out to Tavernier on the right hand side, looks up, right foot ball up to the edge of the box, not a great touch from Portales, going back towards his own goal. It's bouncing around inside the Dundee box. Kimetio gets it half away. Tavernier finds Hadji, now Jeff Day, left hand side for Egaman, level with the penalty spot, puts it into a really good area, and Tavernier almost to the near post, managed to stab it past Carson, who holds on, and it stays Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
It's a clever ball from Egaman, just take possession of the ball just inside the box, left hand side, and doesn't look to just put the ball into the middle of the area. It just finds Tavernier, who's making a little run to that front post area, and the way a pass had to be spot on. It was just Tavernier just couldn't get that connection that he wanted to divert it into the back of the net. But Rangers certainly have started the second half in the same vein as the first half. Look really commanding, dictating the play, and looking to add to their goal.
Great ball by Proper, great take by the goal scorer Czerny, right hand side of the box, taking on Tiffany, goes on to his right side, it's blocked by McGee. Dundee cannot afford to concede again. Diamonde with the ball back in, blocked again. Cameron tries to take it away. There's just no out ball for Dundee. Rangers have it again with Hadji, and now Jefty, left hand side of the box for Egaman. Right foot cross, bends it in, Tavernier's header, and it goes wide, well wide in the end of the left hand post. Trevor Carson's rooted. If that is on target, it's a goal for Rangers. It stays 1-0 to the home team. 52 played.
Yeah, talented play from Egaman again, drifting into this left hand area. This time he puts on his right foot. I tell you what, it's a wonderful cross. So two-footed, and again Tavernier, getting himself up there. And yeah, you're right, Carson. If it was on target, it wasn't getting there. But Rangers just looked to kill this game off.
So Ross County have equalised against St Mirren in Dingwall, 1 apiece there, and a Fetty goal just not long after the break in that one. So Ross County 1, St Mirren 1, which will please Don Cowie, whose home form has been not bad since taking the reins away from home. It's been woeful for them, but it's 1 apiece there. Hibs romping to victory at Pittodrie, 3-1 up against Aberdeen. Johan, Nicky Cadden and Boyle, and that after Topi Keskinen given Aberdeen the lead. Some calamitous defending by all accounts in that game, as Mulligan picks up, driving forward, heavy touch, and that allows Proper to nick in and then release Hadji across the halfway line. Goes the Romanian out to the left-hand side. Egeman looking for Hadji, just couldn't get it into his stride, and it breaks all the way back to Trevor Carson. Rangers 1, Dundee 0 here.
And Dundee looking a little bit more vulnerable, shall I say. Maybe it's that a little tweak here and there. I'm not too sure if there is, but they're just looking to show that a little bit more ambition, getting themselves up the park a little bit. Maybe that's what the manager asked for, but in doing so, they're leaving themselves a little bit open.
Good result coming in for, good day coming in for Green at Morton. 2-0 up now on Dunfermline, who have had David Wotherspoon sent off in that one in the Championship. Morton 2, Dunfermline 0. Remains 2-0 Partick Thistle at Airdrie. Goalless Falkirk Hamilton. And Ayr United with a precious 1-0 lead at Livingston. Rangers with a long ball down this left-hand side. Egeman's not getting there, and he goes out for a throw-in on this near side. Tony Docherty down there trying to cajole his players, trying to offer them encouragement that they can still take something out of this match. They're just a goal behind, but Rangers all over them, Derek. It's very difficult to see how Dundee are going to be able to change the makeup of this game of football.
Yeah, they're just so dominant at the moment, Rangers. You know, and playing one or two diagonals at times, so they've mixed their play up pretty well this afternoon. But that front four of Rangers, it's so difficult for the Dundee side to, you know, defensively to pick up. They're a real handful. That the movement, the change of pace, the quality, the one and the two touch. It's been a good. Well, obviously from a Rangers perspective, it's a real. It's a great thing to watch.
Gavin Riley's got his second of the afternoon, and Arbroath are now 4-0 up at Annan in League One. Here at Ibrox, Finn Robertson leaving a throw-in for Dundee for Astley, midway inside his own half on this main stand side, right in front of his manager Tony Docherty, Philippe Clement, both standing there, hands in pockets. There's Tiffany going down and winning the free kick, fouled by Danilo just inside the Dundee half. They were taking it quickly there, Dundee, but changed their minds. And it will be taken by Astley. We played 11 minutes of the second half. Remember highlights from this game and the other two Premiership matches taking place this afternoon, as well as last night's game at Fir Park on Sports Scene this evening. An offside flag was up against Dundee from the long free kick, goes against Tiffany, and Rangers have a free kick which they've taken quickly. Sterling to Proper, and now Jefty out to this near side for Hadji. Back to Jefty for Proper, back to his goalkeeper. Lyon, the only team to come here and visit Rangers and win this season when they did so in the Europa League, but Rangers' form across the board has picked up. They were struggling away from home. I think still around about 30% of their points picked up on the road. Ibrox has remained a fortress for them, save for Dundee United coming here and taking a point. They've generally been getting the results here, if not necessarily always the performances. But I think Philippe Clement will be pretty happy with the Rangers' use of the ball this afternoon. And Sterling finds Czerny eventually over on the far side.
Yeah, they've somehow, and I don't know where it's the personnel or what's changed, but the intensity.
Let's play through Hadji. I think he is off, but he's running in on goal. Yanis Hadji! Goal! In he goes! Well, the flag does go up against Hadji. And then we've got a split second of music there to accompany Hadji finding the net. As it came off Carson, it looped behind him into the goal, despite Dundee's best efforts to prevent it doing so. And they are just checking to make sure that the assistant on the far side is Alistair Mather, who had made the perfect call, didn't he, for Czerny's goal earlier. Is this the correct one to flag Hadji offside? He looked off, but then you thought Czerny looked off for the goal that stood.
Liam, I certainly did, but I think what's going to happen, Rangers are going to get more of these opportunities because as I said earlier in the first half, that Dundee had parked the bus. They're not. They're pressing a little bit higher up the park. They're showing that ambition. Looks as if they've come out in the second half and they look to try and win it, or go and get something from it.
Offside confirmed.
Yeah, that's what they thought it was. The first one must have been so tight because we were right in line with it, and I just thought it just initially went a little bit too early. But they're pushing higher up the park, Dundee. They're pressing a little bit higher, and they're just at times leaving themselves open at times to balls like this. That should have been executed a little bit better.
Yeah, Czerny's giving it away there. It is Dundee with Cameron coming forward. It's Sterling getting in the road though and rolling it back to Liam Kelly, who yet to make a save in the game as Rangers come forward with Tavernier wide on the right hand side. Across the halfway line he goes, up to the midway point of the Dundee half now, rolls it to Egaman, touch away from Astley, but he puts it straight to Silla, who gets it half away. Now with Jeffty on the near side for Hadji, infield to Egaman. This ball forward cut out by Dundee through Portales, and it's with Jeffty on this near side. I wonder if the managers will start thinking about changes shortly. Dundee, given they're behind, might want to try and alter the game somehow. Hadji in behind again, might well be offside again. He's going to gather it left hand side of the box. Now he's got away from the man in the area, he shoots at goal and Carson makes the save, but the flag does go up, and that's, I think, annoyed Hadji. It's the way it is, I'm afraid. It's Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
And it annoys the hell out of me as well. And I think quite a few of the guys, because that phase of play, it goes on for another 6, 7, 8 seconds or whatever it is, but you always worry if there's going to be a coming together, an injury comes out of it. So I'd just like to see the flag go up in a situation like that. But you can see that there's going to be more opportunities for Rangers because they are playing a little bit more open, Dundee, and with the quality that Rangers have played with already, a
little mistake like that. Sterling didn't know where he was, long ball forward, heads it behind. Liam Kelly obviously didn't hear him, and he set it behind for a Dundee corner. Something like that, the game can change in a sixpence.
It's incredible, isn't it? But then again, those two guys, Kelly, his first start of the season, Sterling, who hasn't played in that position at the back, so just a little lack of communication, a little lack of understanding there.
Dundee corner will be taken on this near side by Finn Robertson. The Dundee right as they attack the goal to the right. Swung into the penalty area, headed away by Tavernier. Mulligan trying to get there ahead of Egaman. He does, but his ball's gone straight to Tavernier, who hoists it forward high with the outside of the boot. Egaman giving chase, giving Mulligan a hard time. Egaman on it now. Wide on that right hand side, we're just beyond the hour mark with Rangers leading by a goal to 0. Well defended by Mulligan. He's been brought down by Egaman. It's a really good recovery by the Dundee midfielder there, because he was under serious pressure from Egaman.
He's done brilliant, because Egaman goes for the nutmeg again. Mulligan, doesn't fall for it. Works ever so well, gets back there, wins himself a foul.
Well, Danilo is being hooked here by Rami's going to replace him. They're still trying to get Danilo back to full fitness. Perhaps earned his start today, Derek. Perhaps sees this as a good fixture for him as well. But given he scored that late goal in the cup final last week, they'll want to get him firing, and they really do have high hopes for Danilo, who's had an injury beset time at Ibrox so far.
Yeah, and sometimes you've just got to be careful with certain players when they've been out for a lengthy period, so you just nursing them back to full fitness. So yeah, I think most of the Rangers support that have came here today would have enjoyed seeing them for 61 minutes, so it's not a bad replacement. And Bajrami, who he's notched in the last few weeks, so yeah, you're not weakening the side whatsoever, and I think that's something that was maybe aimed at the Rangers bench over the course of the last few months, that there wasn't a real impact coming from the bench, but there looks strength there now.
And Danilo got his goal at County as well the week before. Rangers in possession here with Jeffty, central area, left to centre, back towards his own box, and Raskin for Proper. Liam Kelly gives him the angle. And here again the groans of worry from the Rangers supporters. It's a long ball forward for Rangers. Czerny chasing, but Kumetio gets it back to his goalkeeper. Carson fires it forward. So in the Premiership, wherever you are, across the country if you're out and about or at home. The score lines here: Rangers 1, Dundee 0, Aberdeen 1, Hibernian 3, Ross County 1, St Mirren 1, St Mirren down to 10 incidentally. Scott Tanser sent off. Championship here: Dreonians 0, Partick Thistle 2, goalless Falkirk Hamilton, Morton 2, Dunfermline 0, Livingston 0, Ayr United 1. That's the Championship. And in League One, it is Annan 0, Arbroath 4, Cove 1, Alloa 0. Kelty have gone in front against Queen of the South. So 1-0 to the Fifers. Montrose 0, Dumbarton 1, goalless Stenhousemuir, Cally Thistle. As things stand, Arbroath romping to the top of League One. League Two, Clyde 1, Forfar 0. It's now East Fife 3, Spartans 1. Edinburgh City have gone ahead against Elgin City. In the bottom tier, Peterhead, Bonnyrigg, Stirling Albion, Stranraer goalless. Rangers in possession on the right with Raskin into the Dundee half. Galloping down the right hand side is Bayrami. It's fired across the face of goal, but it's behind for a goal kick on the reverse side. The goal frame, and it will stay Rangers 1, Dundee 0. Again, poor execution in the final third. Tony Docherty has called for Simon Murray, who is going to come on just now, I think, for Scott Tiffany. And the other change, we'll see Julian Vetro come on, so it's a double change. Vetro will come on, and he comes on for Tiffany, and Murray is going to come on for Palmer Houlden, who has got absolutely no change whatsoever, albeit he did have that one opportunity towards the end of the first half, Derek, when he was driving forward. Just two poor decisions really. I think he'd look back and perhaps come up with a better decision on each occasion when he found himself in the attacking areas.
Yeah, a little bit frustrated. He's actually shown a little bit of frustration there coming off the park, just shaking his head, but I think it's the right time to bring on a little bit more energy, because those Dundee players, they've worked ever so hard this afternoon. They haven't had a lot of the ball, very little of a breather, so there'll be a little bit of tiredness coming into that side, so they need a little bit of fresh legs. And get back to that Bajrami opportunity, you know, just got to take a little bit more care in the final third. You know, it was a Igaman, you know, just pulling away to that back post, and you're certainly looking for a better ball.
Here come Rangers, long ball towards Igaman into the Dundee box, but it skips through to Trevor Carson, who can hold on. Approaching the final quarter of the game, Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
I think Igaman's just looking a little bit leggy at the moment as well. You know, again, he's worked so hard, had some terrific moments, but just showing a little sign, or showing signs of fatigue.
Long ball for Simon Murray to give chase, but it comes all the way through to Kelly. I've seen Simon Murray cause team's problems. Of course, he's Dundee's top scorer. Right now he'll be looking to try and make an impact up there, as that is clear by Jeffrey. Dink ball forward towards Bayrami, won well by Portales, and now Vetro nicks it forward. He can't find Silla, breaks to Raskin, and now it's with Proper. I mean, the Dundee use of the ball is going to have to be a heck of a lot better if they've still got designs on taking something from this game.
Well, that's a problem, and it has been all game. I think it was clear to see in the first half they decided they're going to sit in, they're going to soak up pressure, but when you're breaking forward, you're getting players up the park, you've got to keep the ball as well, because they look a little bit too open for my liking. You know, and they're still in this game.
Yeah, it wasn't a great ball by Igaman. Dundee flashed it forward wide in the right, switched to Murray. Murray taking on the defender. Proper slides in. Free kick's been given at the right angle of the box. Proper sold himself there. He slid in. He's not complaining. His manager left frustrated down below us. About to tick on to the 67th minute. Dundee have a free kick round about the right angle of the Rangers box, maybe a few yards a little bit further back. Proper's been yellow carded for that too.
And rightly so, and you can just see he's not comfortable. Proper when he's dragged out to a wide area, he's got a lack of pace, and Murray fancied his chances there, just knocks the ball past him, and you know, and I think that foolishly, you know, just dives in. If you think you're going to get beat for pace, just hold off a little bit, let the player just hold him up, let players get back in to help you. But I think it was really rash.
Finn Robertson over it, right-footed free kick, chance here for Dundee perhaps. bent into the 6-yard area, headed up into the air by the man who gave it away proper, goes for the second attempt. It's at half clear. Dundee come again, it's the edge of the box with Cameron. It's a good ball, and the header, wrong decision again, is headed over the crossbar. Real opportunity for Dundee there, and it was Jordan McGee, who is more than capable of getting himself in the score sheet. He's got more time than I think he thinks, because he's gone with the head. I think he's got time to take a touch there, Derek.
But we've not saw enough of Cameron from a Dundee point of view. It's a brilliant ball, picks it up the edge of the box, and you think, where's he going to put it? And there's Jordan McGee just peeling off that back post.
Yeah, but from one end to the other, Eganman's in. Oh, it's off the line as he clipped it over Carson, left-hand side of the 6-yard box, and it's cleared to safety. Might well have been McGee, who thought he was, or could have been in a good position to score up the other end there, and it's just nicked away just before Eganman was about to wheel off in celebration. It stays Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
Yeah, he's great in those tight areas, isn't he? In the box, little give and go, and he just tries to toe poke it over the keeper, but you can see those Dundee defenders getting back just to clear their lines. But Rangers certainly, you know, well, certainly from the fans' point of view, you know, they need that second. It just shows you there's just a moment ago, you know, Cameron, it was a lovely ball to Jordan McGee, and you're right, he could have probably brought it down his chest, got a strike at goal, but elected to go with the head.
Rangers have it with Tavernier, little ball in fields, cut out. And Dundee have it with Cameron. A good little spin there by Lyle Cameron. Dundee desperate to hold on to him, he's out of contract at the end of the season. The number 10 makes things tick for Tony Docherty's side as Cameron picks up, long ball out to the near side. It's headed away by Jeffrey. Breaks to Vetro. I'm not sure what that was from Vetro. He's given it straight to Haji. Eganman offside. He's going to chase it. He's offside. They've got to let this play out. Portales gets goal side of him. Little step over from Eganman. He dinks it wide anyway. And up goes the flag for offside. Just over 20 left. Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
Does that not annoy you, Liam?
It does, but you've got to, you know, at the end of the day, what would annoy you more? Does that annoy you more than, say,
when it's as
it
clear
goes
as
into,
that, Liam?
yeah, but if it, I know, but if it goes back into the net and somehow it's onside and it's been flagged and ruled out beforehand, they've got to. I understand though, because someone will get a really bad injury at some point because of it.
Yeah, well, it's clear from our vantage point and where the linesman is, he's at least a couple of yards offside. So they allow the phase of play to go on. He's got two players chasing him down, Eganman. He's going one way, the other, and you know, I just don't think there's any need for that. That's a rule that needs to change, because you're right, somebody is going to get hurt. But I think
when it's that obvious,
when it's that, of course.
Yeah, I'm hearing it. Not sure anyone else is, Derek. It is going to be a goal kick meantime for Rangers to be taken by Liam Kelly at the centre point of the 6-yard box. Long ball controlled in the chest by Rami, nicked off him though by Silla, and Silla's won it well. He's driving down the left for Dundee this time. Powerful play by Silla. He runs into Raskin though, who puts it out for a Dundee throw-in. Dundee have seen more of the ball since the changes in good areas in the Rangers half.
Yeah, they're getting themselves forward, they're creating opportunities now, but allied with that, they're a hell of a lot more open as well. So they're gambling, which is good to see, because they came with that game plan, they've sat in, they've soaked up a little bit of pressure. Now they think, no, it's time to have a go at Rangers, see if we can get something out of this, and they're giving it a fair go.
And they're up the pitch, but they've given it away from the throw-in. Czerny's got it into his stride on the right, crossing the halfway line. Eganman trying to get up and support. It's Václav Czerny. Couldn't quite squeeze it through to him though. Blocked by Astley. And Dundee still alive in this game. In the 72nd minute. Clyde 2-0 up now on Forfar in League 2. Peterhead have scored a couple of goals in quick-fire fashion. They lead Bonnyrigg 2-0. Here come Rangers in the Premiership, leading 1-0. On the right, it's Bajrami. Pulls it back, blocked by the defender, and behind for a Rangers corner. East Fife now 4-1 up on Spartans as well in League 2.
Czerny takes the wrong option. You can look back at last Sunday's game and, you know, you can be critical of the Rangers in an attacking sense, you know, choosing the wrong option. And Raskin was busting a gut, you know, down this left-hand side. That was the ball to play into that area, but it'll be something they need to work on, Rangers.
Tavernier corner, outswinger with the right foot on the far side. It's won by a Rangers head, Eganman, but he heads it well behind. Goal kick, Dundee's claiming corner. He's not getting one. Remains 1-0 to the home team, who as it stands would move into second spot. I have to say, Derek, I was looking at the bits and bobs of the game last night at Fir Park. Motherwell, when they went in front, just having a little look at the as it stood league table at that point, they would have only been 6 points behind Aberdeen, they've obviously fallen off in the last couple of months, Aberdeen, but again, it just shows, I know they didn't win the game last night, but it shows you how good a job Stuart Kettlewell's doing at Motherwell and how well they've been going this season.
There's a lot to like about Stuart Kettlewell, you know, when he's a good listen, speaks a lot of sense, and I tell you what, he said he struggles to seek as well because a number of injuries, but they're always competitive and they're doing ever so well.
Rangers felt they should have had a free kick there. You heard the derision for the decision, and Matthew McDermott sounds the whistle for a Dundee free kick. In fairness, it doesn't matter. You could be Pierluigi Collina coming here to work as referee today. You're going to get dogs abuse from the Rangers supporters after what happened last Sunday.
Yeah, and I think now the fans are starting to get a little bit anxious as well, you know, because they're just leading a goal to nil. Dundee are getting themselves forward, so Rangers still got a little bit of work to do.
Czerny coming off, McCausland coming on for Rangers. There's no dramas for them. They're 1-0 up, and you know, I guess if they're going to be able to reel in Celtic, it's going to take a real drop off from the champions, obviously, but they may look at goal difference further down the line. I don't think that's going to come into it. Celtic are streets ahead in that regard just now. So 1-0 does Rangers. They're just going to try and get as many points on the board as possible. Hope they can win the derby games, and then you never know.
Well, of course, we've got to try and apply a little bit of pressure. But of course, it's a huge ask if Rangers are going to go and win the league. You know, that 11-point gap.
Dundee free kick. It's taken to the right for Cameron, whose cross is headed away. Rangers have it with McCausland, looking to make an immediate impact. This ball towards Egeman, cut out by Robertson. He breaks to Silla, who rolls it to his left for Kimetio, who's lost it to Raskin. Now McCausland, he's done well to find Raskin on the right. Rangers looking for a second here. In for Egeman, who smashes the bar. He's about 3 yards out, and somehow he contrives to hit Carson's crossbar and goal frame rather than the back of the net. He's got too much on it. 15 to play. It stays Rangers 1, Dundee 0. That should have been the game there, though.
That should have been game, set and match. It's brilliant play from Raskin down that right hand side, closing down his opponent. I tell you what, it's a wonderful ball. He puts it on a plate, absolutely, for Egeman. And you sometimes wonder, do they think it's too easy? Is he leaning back? Doesn't matter. It should be in the back of the net, no question. And that would have, you know, made this Rangers support relax a little bit more. But it certainly should have been 2-0, a gilt-edged chance. It's more than a chance. Me and you could have put that in. Let's be honest.
I wouldn't go that far. Well, you perhaps, Derek.
No,
certainly
I don't know.
Not. It's proper forward to Raskin, but what it's done is it keeps Dundee in the game. Yeah. Well, here come Rangers. Tavernier, Egeman at the edge of the box. It's going to be booted away by Astley, and out for a Rangers throw. And Philip Clement will just be absolutely delighted they scored that early goal in the second half.
Yeah. And Egeman had the 1v1 in the first half as well. Should have done a whole lot better. And just there, he's only 3 yards out. And you wonder where it goes through his head.
Given away by Diamonde. Now Dundee away with Lyle Cameron. Vetro peeling off to his left. Murray to his right. He's delayed the pass, Cameron. Eventually he rolls it out to Robertson, right hand side of the Rangers box. Main stand side, digs out the cross with the left foot. There's a header at goal from Mulligan, but it's tame and it goes right through to Kelly. But another little warning for Rangers. This game is far from over. Just 1-0 up here against the Dundee side. They're more than capable. One of the problems Dundee do not have is scoring goals. I know they were beaten 2-0 at Tynecastle last time out, but scoring goals has not really been an issue for Tony Docherty this season.
Totally agree with you, Liam, and that's why Rangers have got to be really guarded about this. And it was a good choice of pass from Cameron. You know, he's breaking forward. He could have went for that little kind of intricate pass, but no, he plays a percentage pass, plays it wide, ball into the box. But they're not going away, Dundee, and they aren't going to go away. So Rangers really need to get that second if they're going to see this Dundee side off.
Well, Rangers have only been pegged back when they've had a lead in the Premiership twice this season. They won both games anyway, against Motherwell at Hampden and against St Mirren here. As Hadji collects midway inside the Dundee half, switches it out to Tavernier, kills it on the chest over on that right hand side. Low ball for Ross McCausland, right of the Dundee box, pulls it back to Bayrami, who finds Tavernier. Now Diamonde, Tavernier, low ball, right hand side of the box, McCausland. Level with the penalty spots, ball's cut out by Portales. Now it's back on the far side with Bayrami. And then Diamonde, it's all the way back to Proper. A little bit edgy, the natives here.
Yeah, and you can understand why, because this game should have been put to bed by now. But what I like about Dundee and what Tony Dock's done in this second half, he's having a go, you know, and it would be easy for Dundee just to, you know, think, oh well, we've sat in, we've only conceded a goal here, but no, they're not going away. They're going to try and get themselves back into this game, try and take a point, even try and win it. It looks as if they've tried to go and win this game in the second half. It's making a good spectacle for us, because I just thought it was too much one-way traffic in the first half.
It's been a better second half. I mean, the goal early in the second half opens it up, I suppose. Ziegeman for Rangers, for Hadji. Not a great touch, allows Cameron to nick in. Mulligan's onto it, the edge of his box. Now he's driving forward, he's capable of doing this. Driving up to halfway, only Murray ahead of him. Gets the break of the ball off a couple of Rangers players. Great play by Josh Mulligan. He's found Murray, but I think it's just gone over the line. And that will be a throw-in, but that's what Josh Mulligan offers. He's a powerhouse in that Dundee midfield, one of the academy graduates who's made such an impact. Just 11 minutes to play, Rangers still leading Dundee by a goal to nil. Aberdeen 1, Hibs 3, Ross County 1, 10-man St Mirren 1. That is the story in the Premiership. Falkirk have gone in front against Hamilton, huge goal that one, because it looked like they were struggling to make the breakthrough. Callum Morrison with 10 to play at that one. So often he's come up with the goods for Falkirk over the last season and a half. Falkirk 1, Hamilton 0, perhaps even beyond that, to be fair, for Morrison. So Falkirk 1, Hamilton 0. Still long ball for Dundee towards Silla, headed away by Proper, out to this near side. Jeffrey heads it into Raskin. Jeffrey now down the line for Hadji. His ball goes straight to Astley, finds Cameron, who goes back into his own half for Portales. Final 10 minutes now upon us here at Ibrox. Dundee still with dreams of taking something from this game, taking it back up the road, as their neighbours United did here not so long ago.
Yeah, and Liam, you can see the players starting to fancy it a little bit more as well. The Rangers players, where that comes from the stands, with from the fans, they're starting to get a little bit edgy. Decision making, you know, is coming into question a little bit more, and you just see this Dundee side getting a little bit more confidence in their play and getting themselves forward. It's just good to see guys like Cameron, Mulligan, you know, getting themselves on the ball, getting themselves forward and showing their qualities.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you can come into the last 10-15 minutes within striking distance, if you're behind in the match or sitting at 0-0, that's when you can twist and try and have a go at taking points from it, and that's exactly what Dundee are doing just now.
Yeah.
And Cameron over this free kick. It's not quite at the midway point in the Rangers half, it's a little bit further back. As Cameron rolls it to Astley, then back to Cameron, infield to Vetro, rolls it to Mulligan, and then to the left of the centre circle for Portales. In the centre circle, and then pushed forward to Cameron, looking for Vetro in behind. Misjudged slightly by Jeffrey. It's with Vetro, gets the ball in, it's a good one as well, and Tavernier flicks it away at the back post. Stays in play, McCausland fires it up the line to Tavernier, who's lost out to Mulligan over on the far side. Rangers 1, Dundee 0. Dundee threatening again there, Derek.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a wonderful ball from Vetro down this right hand side, because that's Jordan McGee's area. He's coming bombing in, you know, at that back post area, so Rangers defence had to clear that. So again, this is the beauty of the game, you know, only a goal in this game, and Dundee gaining, and I think Cameron get blocked off of the referee there.
Play on though, Rangers are going to make a couple of changes. Hielmaz and Dessers waiting to come on. It is Diamonde coming forward and finding McCausland, looking to get the break of the ball, which he does. He's inside the box, his efforts blocked there by Astley. Trying to stick to McCausland, who picks up the second ball. Back to the right angle of the box for Diamonde. Tries to swing it towards Egeman, goes over his head, picked up by Hadji. Left angle of the box, now Jeffrey crosses in. Headed away by Portales. And the clearance completed by Mulligan as Cameron runs into Raskin. Rangers have it back. Out wide right, Tavernier looks up, his cross is deflected behind for a Rangers corner. Rangers leading by a goal to nil. Some goals are going in elsewhere. Cali Thistle have gone 1-0 up on Stenhousemuir in League One. Dumbarton leading Montrose 2-1. It was 1-0 to Dumbarton, it's now 2-1. And Kelty Hearts 2-0 up on Queen of the South. That in League One. Premiership, Aberdeen 1, Hibs 3, Rangers 1, Dundee 0 here, Ross County 1, 10 Mansever 1 in Dingwall. Rangers making the changes, it's Egaman and Hadji off, Yilmaz and Dessers coming on. Airdrie 0, Partick Thistle 2, Falkirk 1, Hamilton 0, Morton 2, Dunfermline 0, Livingston 0, Ayr United 1 in the Championship. Just did the updates from League One, where Arbroath lead Annan 4-0, Cove 1, Alloa 0, Kelty 2, Queen of the South 0, Morton 1, Dumbarton 2, Stenhousemuir 0, Cali Thistle 1, Clyde 2, Forfar 0 in League 2, East Fife 4, Spartans 1, Edinburgh City 1, Elgin City 0, Peterhead now 2-0 up on Bonnyrigg, remains goalless at Fourth Bank between Stirling Albion and Stranraer. It's you up to date. Closing stages. In comes the corner for Rangers, headed away by Kumetio. And Dundee come away in the counter. Cameron getting onto it to McGee, wide in the left, and Dundee have numbers charging forward, and it's Josh Mulligan, good play, and he's managed to put it up to Robertson, right hand side of the box, and he latches it high over the bar. Sterling slid in, perhaps did just enough to put him off. He's claiming corner, but my goodness, what a chance for Dundee there. And once more, when you don't have too many opportunities in the attacking third in a game like this, you've got to make the right ones. And Finn Robertson there, he's wildly slashed that over the bar with Simon Murray waiting in the penalty area, round about the penalty spot. Stays 1-0 Rangers, 6 to play.
A brilliant play from Mulligan, but again, you know, we were criticising him a little bit about his choice of pass. Certainly not there, you know, because he takes it a little bit forward. He looks as if he's going to play that left hand side, just opens his body out. Again, finds Robertson there, and he's got to do a whole lot better. You know, I think he's taking it into a wide area to get his shot off. I think sometimes you can just cut back in that, you know, maybe use your weaker foot. But again, that ambition that Dundee have showed, they've certainly done that in the second half, and they've been a real threat.
There's Tavernier though for Rangers, up the pitch over on the far side, just beyond the midway point of Dundee territory. Low ball infield to McCausland, back to Tavernier, who goes back to Diamonde. Tony Docherty down there, he's getting the steps in down in his technical area, going from one end of it to the other as he continues to talk to his players. Philippe Clement down there, I think he, given the conditions and everything, given the week that they'll have had, he'll just be delighted with any kind of 3 points here as Portales struggles to deal with a long ball. Dessers is onto it, rolls it back to the edge of the box for Bayrami, his efforts blocked by Ashley. Now back to Diamonde, low ball into the box to the left of the penalty spot for Yilmaz. It's it back to Bayrami, he's facing away from goal now though, under pressure from 3 Dundee players. Rolls it back to Diamonde, now it's with McCausland, low ball looking for Bayrami, cut out by Portales, who gets it away, and it's picked up by Diamonde over on the far side, trying to roll it in behind the defender. McCausland chases, goal kick only though. He's wanting a corner, as are the Rangers supporters in the Broomloan behind Trevor Carson's goal. They're not getting it though. 86 on the clock, Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
Good defending from McGee there, away over on that left hand side, and all of a sudden, you know, with what we've got 4 minutes of normal time plus added on time, you know, there's a renewed energy about Dundee. They believe they can get something now. It's clear to see, and I think that's why you can hear the Rangers fans, a real nervousness around the stadium at the moment.
And final whistles will be going across the country very soon indeed. Highlights of the Premiership matches tonight on Sports Scene on the BBC Scotland channel, repeated later on BBC One Scotland. Sports Sound of course on air till 7 this evening. The post-match reaction to come. There'll be some interesting post-match interviews to come, I would imagine, as Jeffrey picks up for Rangers. Raskin and back to Proper. No VAR controversy here. The 2 VAR-related incidents proved to be the correct on-field decisions in the end, including the goal that separates the 2, scored by Václav Černý just at the tail end of the first minute of the second 45. Rolled back by Sterling to Liam Kelly. Still just that 1 goal and 3 minutes of normal time to play, Derek.
Yeah, and there's a frustration from the manager. You know, Rangers electing to play the ball back to Kelly. The manager wants the ball forward. He wants to put Dundee under more pressure. And you can just see, yeah, it's even the manager, you know, he's sensing that they're struggling just a little bit at the moment. They had to make a few changes. Obviously Dessers comes on, Yilmaz try to get that little bit more belief, that little bit more energy into the Rangers side. But at the moment, you know, it's a Dundee side, you know, in possession of the ball, start to dominate for periods now. Look to get this equaliser.
Next up for Dundee is Ross County at home, followed by a trip to St Mirren, and then it's the derby as Dundee come forward, and Murray's found himself in left hand side, pulls it across and cleared off the line by Proper. There might well be an offside anyway, I think there is, against Simon Murray, so it wouldn't have counted, but wow.
That's what we're talking about, Liam, because I tell you what, I thought that was a foul in Cameron. Raskin comes back, but the referee allows play to go on, but when that pass is played, he deems it offside. I'd have took that back and gave the free kick to Dundee, but you know, again another worrying moment for Rangers. Rangers, you know, they've been really nervy the last 5-6 minutes.
Oisin Smith has scored for St Mirren late on, despite being down to 10 men. They're now well placed to win in Dingwall, and they lead 2-1 against Ross County, who have got to be very careful, because if Hearts get their stuff together, and St Johnstone down there as well, but Ross County and St Johnstone, if Hearts and Hibs are heading for a big victory themselves today, you expect Hearts and Hibs to push up the league, perhaps Kilmarnock as well, but Ross County, that would be a hammer blow for them late on, despite having a man advantage. They trail 2-1 in stoppage time. Another one of Derek's old clubs, of course, as Silla pokes it back to his goalkeeper. Dundee trying to find an equaliser here. We're in the 90th minute, plus whatever's going to be added on at the end. It is Dundee with Portales. Long ball looking for Robertson. It's a comfortable header. Well, it should have been for Jefty. He's giving it straight to Vetro, who's going to try and get back onto Robertson's pass down the right of the Rangers box. Vetro has it. Looking to spin Yilmaz. He's done it and he's into the box, dancing around right hand side of it. It's cleared away though. 4 minutes being added and Rangers pick up with Dessers. He's found by Rami, and suddenly it's 3-on-2 in Rangers' favour. By Rami driving forward, releases Ross McCausland, who's in right hand side of the box to seal it, but he puts it over the bar and puts his shirt over his head in frustration. He knows how big a chance that was to seal the match, seal the points. It stays Rangers 1, Dundee 0. They've been a little bit profligate, Rangers, in the second half.
It's a wonderful counter-attack, and Bajrami this time, you know, takes the right option, plays in McCausland, he's through and goal, 1v1. Quite simply, Liam, he panics, he shows no calmness whatsoever. I think it was a case of just pick your spot, whether it's a dink, whether it's go to the near side. He's got a whole load of options, and I think at the end, young McCausland, I just think he panics.
Dundee have it with Cameron. It's an ambitious ball, looking for a teammate down the left. It was McGee. Rangers mop up, Tavernier back to Kelly, who gets it clear. And as far as Cameron, but at the end of the first of 4 minutes, given away by Mulligan though, and here come Rangers again. Raskin, can they finish it this time? He's having his shirt pulled, but he's managed to find Dessers, left hand side, shoots off the bar again. I think Carson's got a touch on that. Yellow cards come out. The assistant on the far side says goal kick. Maybe he didn't, but it's come off the top of the crossbar again. This time Cyril Dessers misses the chance to finish it, and it stays Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
Yeah.
Time Dundee's enemy right now.
It's quite incredible Rangers haven't got a second goal this afternoon. That one from McCausland, you know, no excuses there. You know, it's a difficult, more difficult for Dessers. The angle's always against him. He's got to go with power. It's clear to see, and he does. And it comes off the top of the bar, so that's 3 times I've hit the woodwork today, Rangers.
And here comes Lyle Cameron looking for Mulligan, challenge from Jefty, does enough. Yilmaz can't keep it in play. Dundee have a throw-in over on this near side, midway inside the Rangers half. 2 minutes of stoppage time left. It's not done yet.
And it's quite incredible that it's not done, because you think you go back to the Igaman chance as well. You know, he misses from 3 yards out. He's got a 1v1.
Well, they've hit the goal frame 4 times, Rangers.
Yeah, and that's why. But you can all say credit to Dundee. They've
Here's a
hung in.
chance. Left-hand side of the penalty spot, and Kumetio found himself in the box. Rangers clear out for a Dundee throw-in on this near side. This is about level with the Rangers penalty spot, and Robertson is going to leave it for Astley. It's going to be a long throw into the Rangers box here from the big defender, the big Welshman, down on this near side. This might be the last chance for Dundee. We're about to go into the final minute of stoppage time. In from Astley, the header from Jeff Day away. Astley and Dessers go for it. Dessers has done well, and he's found by Rami. McCausland's away again to his right if he can find him. He has done. Flicks him to the outside of the boot now. Ross McCausland. He's got Dessers to his left. Others arriving. McCausland goes himself. It's blocked. Breaks back to the Northern Irishman over on the far side of the Dundee box. Finds Tavernier. And now out wide right for Diamonde. Rangers at the very least of the ball in the Dundee half as the seconds slip away. Here is Raskin on the far side, leaves it for Tavernier. The right angle of the box, back to McCausland. And now Diamonde goes back to Sterling. They made to sweat it out, Rangers, just in the last 10-15 minutes of the game. It looks like they're going to have done enough though to win the match and react to that League Cup final defeat last week in positive fashion. So final 10 seconds, Rangers wallop it forward, long ball. It's picked up by Astley. Now it's with Robertson, but Matthew McDermott sounds the full-time whistle, and Rangers do enough in the end. A deserved victory in the end as well. Created loads of chances by the end of the match, hitting the bar 4 times, no fewer than 4 occasions, and other chances too, to put this game to bed long before the match finished. Václav Černy's the hero. His goal right at the start of the second half survived a VAR check for offside. Hadji had the ball in the net as well. That didn't survive the VAR check, and Rangers can celebrate a victory that puts them as high up the league table as they've been all season. They leapfrog a beleaguered looking Aberdeen into second place, and this brings them back to within 8 points of Celtic, albeit the champions have a game in hand in Dundee tomorrow when they face Dundee United at Tannadice. Finished here at Ibrox, Rangers 1, Dundee 0.
But